A very good and happy Wednesday morning and happy hump day to everyone out there. Meteorologist Landon Hampton with you to bring you your latest weather and night forecast courtesy of On Target. Got an ongoing weather situation early this morning. We know many of you all want to jump in here and discuss the weekend storm system. There have been some alterations with the latest model guidance. We'll be getting more into that here in just a moment. But our focus right now is early on this Wednesday. Winter weather advisory is already out and has been out ever since last night for Butler and Edmonson County. We've received numerous reports of slick travel and accidents out there across the northern tier of the region. We got reports of the interstate being shut down in some locations heading north and west from Morgantown towards Ohio County. We also have reports of I-65 being shut down, due to be ice covered heading north on I-65. So once you get north out of the Wobbles community and you heads up towards E-Town, there's numerous travel concerns being reported over in that region as well. Butler and Edmonson County schools have already called off and closed for today as well due to the slick travel and the accidents that have been noted out there across the region. So let's jump right into it. Take a look. The radar tells the story. We've got this healthy wintry mix that is brushing right across roughly the northern third to northern half of the Wobbles community right here with our coverage area. This is going to continue on this northeastward track, and looking at the temperatures out there, one wouldn't assume that we are dealing with slick travel because, as you can see here on the temperature sensors, 38 degrees at the Bowling Green Airport. Over here in Muhlenberg County, 37 degrees, 37 over here in Hoptown. You get further to the north, though, over here near Owensboro, they're down to freezing. And the northern fringe of our vicinity here, northern tier of the Wobbles community, is getting in on that. So please, please be careful if you're heading out for your early morning commute. Again, numerous reports of slick travel and accidents, in particular, right across portions of Butler and Edmonson County this morning. All right, let's jump over here and we can take a look across the region. We'll start off looking over the D93 Skycam in downtown Bowling Green. All is quiet despite the cloud cover. We will have that wintry mix trying to work in here from the west as we speak. And then we can shift over here to the Reed Dossey House Skycam overlooking Brownsville up in Edmonson County. It's very difficult to see, folks, but if you see and take a look, there's like a freezing rain and drizzle that is ongoing out there, and that is causing our temperatures to wet bulb down, meaning that's once the atmosphere is becoming saturated, that's sending the temperature profiles within the air down as well, thus resulting in the slick travel that we have been experiencing. Look at the temperature readings region-wide. We have got readings, Butler County, 38.4 degrees in Morgantown, but if you head just north of there, and you get up into the northern tier of the region, over towards Gilstrap, up into Casey, Nafis community, towards Caneyville, right there on the south side of Grayson County, pushing eastward over into portions of Edmonson County. That's where those temperatures have fluctuated down. Ground and pavement temperatures are below freezing. Some of the roadways out there are just an absolute sheet of ice, all right? So we want to jump over here and we want to talk about and discuss, first and foremost, the short-term model guidance here with what we're going to deal with this morning. Then we're going to build out the plan for you and give you the entire breakdown in regards to that winter weather maker that's going to be arriving as we work throughout the weekend. First and foremost, taking a gander, we are looking at the short-term model guidance. You will note this wintry mix stays very much alive with us this morning, and then as we continue throughout the day, our temperatures are expected to warm above the 40-degree mark. This is going to transition to all rain by the time we roll into lunchtime. Then we get into this afternoon with plain Jane rain owning the weather story here. We look to dry out, and that cold front will be south and east of the region and pulling out of here. By the time we work into this evening, we'll be bringing those rain chances here to an end. Taking a look at our temperature profiles, we are right here. We're seeing temperatures rising above freezing, but again, folks, the wet bulbing down is creating the slick travel. We're expected to hit between the upper 30s up into the lower 40s this afternoon. Then we work into our Thursday. It's going to be the same song and dance with temperatures rebounding back to around the 40-degree mark. And then, folks, we're going to get into our Friday. We're going to have a dry Arctic front that's going to push through here. That's going to set the stage for this weekend's winter weather event, all right? Take a look at these readings throughout our Friday. By the time we roll into lunchtime, we're going to be hanging out right around or just below freezing, and then temperatures are going to plummet down, and then we're going to gear up for the bigger weather story, which is what is going to unfold as we get into the weekend, all right? So the latest model guidance bringing even more concern for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, even points down to the south in Tennessee, with some alterations that have happening that has slowly but surely been on a trend of shifting this weather maker to the north and west. So keep your eyes on this. We got this area of Arctic high pressure that is pushing down out of Canada, and then we got that southern stream system that's jolting in here, right? This is our setup. We've been talking about this here over the past several days. But our Arctic high is here, and our deep transport with this Baja low, with this eastern Pacific jet coming across Mexico and the deep southwest, is pulling that moisture transport northward. We are watching trends. We are not focused on amounts. We're still 3 to 4 days out from this. We'll hone in and really be able to start discussing amounts as we work into tomorrow whenever this weather maker comes onto the mainland here out of the south and west, all right? But the latest model guidance, take a look here. We'll put this into motion. It has pulled that Arctic high a little bit more to the north and west, and then it's kicked up this low a little bit further to the south, all right? I was chatting with Mark Jarvis, phenomenal forecaster with NWS Louisville, a little bit earlier this morning, and what's occurring is we've got this trough that's kicking out a little bit further west over here into Canada. That's displacing the Arctic high a little further to the north and west. This is drop kicking this Baja low a little bit further to the south that is encouraging the ridge to build more across the southeastern U.S. Landon, what does this mean in layman terms? Well, we're seeing a slow shift off to the north and west, and we are monitoring trends. We have been preaching trends all week because we cannot focus on amounts right now because it's quite literally impossible. But the trends that we've been seeing is this slow and steady jog off to the north and west, and you'll note here, heavy snow event unfolding late Saturday into our Saturday night, and then look as we progress and we get into our Sunday morning. We have this wintry mix and freezing rain bringing ice, a pretty significant coating on top of the snowfall, and then it adds insult to injury and brings wraparound moisture as we roll into our Sunday morning all the way into Sunday afternoon with some light snow that's going to fall on top of that. I'm not a fan, folks, of what the current guidance is showing. I do not want ice in here whatsoever, but unfortunately, trends have started to go in that direction. So let's get a little bit closer here on the intel, and let's give you the breakdown. We are looking at the 850 millibar level. Landon, why are we looking at this? Well, it's something to note, very important, that's going to greatly dictate the alterations in precipitation that we're going to experience as this very complicated weather maker evolves across the region. Here we are rolling throughout our Saturday afternoon and evening. Here is the 850 millibar jet. We are to the north and west of the jet. That's good news. That means we're on the cold side, and that means that we're going to be jolting in here and just swimming in the snow here Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening, all right? Look at that. Blatantly see the 850 millibar jet streak. We are right here just north and west of that. Bullseye for really good, really healthy snow. But watch what guidance is spitting out as we roll into the very early pre-dawn hours of our Sunday. Okay, so what's going to occur is we have got this developing low pressure that is now pulling more towards the north and west. With the low here, this is encouraging the southerly flow that could result in this warm nose that's going to be clipping up and eating into the far and southeastern tier of the state of Kentucky. With the warm nose eating in here, folks, this is going to result in the alteration of changing our precipitation. And right here on our graphic, this tells the weather story for you. If a warm nose infiltrates, we broke this down yesterday, but we're breaking it down again with a better graphic, all right? When the warm nose infiltrates, depending upon how deep that warm nose is, greatly dictates what kind of precipitation we will see. If we have a warm nose that's coming in, it's just above the surface, sub-freezing temperatures at the surface, we get freezing rain. It falls as rain upon contact with trees, limbs, houses, power lines. It freezes and it holds on to those objects. We do not want that, all right? Then as you get a little bit shallower warm nose, you can see it falls as snowflakes, it melts into water droplets, and it refreezes before it reaches the ground. But before it reaches the ground, it refreezes. But it doesn't have enough time to turn back into those giant dendrites of snow. It is sleet. And then whenever we get the column fully sub-freezing, that is whenever we get all snow on the ground, all right? So looking right there at the warm nose, that is not encouraging because we do not want any ice whatsoever. I know many people around here are still have scars from the 2009 event. We're not jumping into comparisons here, but it's just worth noting, regardless of what we see here with the snow or ice, you want to be prepared ahead of time. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you have a heat source that's locked in. We got frigid cold that's going to lock in behind this weather maker as well, all right? So let's jump back over here and let's take a look at the latest model guidance. We're first going to look at the GFS, then we're going to look at the Euro snow totals, then we're going to look at what the latest Euro trends have showed in regards to that ice coming along here with it. The GFS is still in the main game of us seeing snow as the predominant precipitation type and pushing double-digit snow totals. Again, folks, this is not a forecast. We're showing you what the models are showing out. This is reading as all snow. Unfortunately, looks like we're going to be getting some ice in on that. That greatly cuts down on totals. Freezing rain and sleet does not accumulate nearly as quickly or as well as snowfall does. Now let's take a look at our good old friend, the Euro. It comes through with a giant snow swath as well, but it displaces the heavier band just north of the Wobbles region here, right along the Ohio River. But again, these totals look insane. But with that being said, it's not taking into account the opportunity that a load of this could be ice and snow. And this is why we're showcasing this. Look at the latest Euro sticking out here with a probability of ice accretions and accumulations. And look right here, folks, like what I said. Saturday afternoon, we are north of that 850 millibar jet. We are all snow, baby. Bring it on. And then here comes the 850 millibar low. The warm nose sneaks in here Saturday evening. We transition over to all freezing rain and sleet. And then we get finished off with a dousing of light snow on top of it. We do not want to see this. A half inch of rain in combination with 1 to 3 up to 5 inches of snow, maybe more. This is a recipe for the opportunity of this being a catastrophic winter weather maker. Look down to our south and west. The folks down in Arkansas would be in high preparation, stretching off across portions of the deep south into western Tennessee as well. 1 to 1.75 inches of ice. That is absolutely insane, folks. You're talking about power outages. You're talking about trees looking like toothpicks down in that direction. Keep your fingers crossed. Get your snow hats on. Do your snow dances. We need to do anything and everything in our power to showcase that we don't want in on this ice. We will take any and all vibes to keep this all snow, folks, because we do not want what the Euro is currently showing to come to fruition, all right? Jumping back over here and taking a look here at our short-term model guidance, I want to give you the breakdown. Winter weather advisory today. This is valid until 11 a.m. Central Time for Butler and Edmonson County. Numerous reports of slick travel hitting north out of Bowling Green. Folks, please be aware we have numerous reports of ice-covered roadways out there. Stay safe and vigilant in the process. Impactful winter storm this weekend. We've been given a 60 to 70% probability now of seeing moderate impacts come to fruition. As previously mentioned, snow and ice amounts are absolutely impossible to talk about now. We'll be discussing those amounts, it looks like, for the first time. Probably at some point as we get into our Thursday, we get the system on land. It's going to give us a much better idea of exactly what is going to be unfolding for us, but we want to prepare ahead of time. Go ahead and get all your needed essentials here before this arrives. Whether it's snow or whether it's ice, This will be a impactful weather maker. Frigid cold coming in here behind it. Whatever we get this weekend, it's going to be hanging around for a while after. That is a promise. Taking a look here at your full 6-day weather forecast, we've got scattered wintry mix this morning. Slick travel transitioning to all rain as we work into this afternoon with highs right around the lower 40s. Thursday, sunshine comes back into the play with mid-40s achieved. Arctic front passes through here on Friday. Highs are going to be right around the freezing mark of 32 degrees. Arctic front passes, and that sets us up for game on. Lows tumbling all the way down to the single digits, lower teens on Friday night. Only going to make it to the upper teens and lower 20s on Saturday. Widespread snow and ice is anticipated. This will continue all the way through Saturday night, lingering throughout the Sunday time frame as well. We finally clear out by Sunday night, but we're going to be looking at readings down to near 0 degrees. Folks, that's not wind chills. Wind chills could be at sub-zero readings. And then Monday afternoon, we'll keep the frigid cold around with highs not getting out of the low to mid-20s. Folks, it's going to wrap up this Wednesday morning hump day edition of your Weather or Not forecast presented by On Target. Emergency number is right there on top of the banner. Save it into your contacts if you run into any sort of weather disaster or damage throughout this winter weather event. You want to give the folks at On Target a call. Their emergency line is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You all stay safe, stay vigilant, prepare accordingly. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a